Hello and good afternoon, as I believe this will be premiering. Welcome back to another episode of Risen, where you might notice we're in a different pair of shoes today. That's because I decided to do the next bit as a Dawnsman, just because I realized in the last episode, with how handily we dispatched everything using the magic bullet, probably wise to show people how melee combat is a whole different beast altogether. We know how easy the game can be with magic. Let's see how it is when you like to fight mano el mano. So I've gotten all of the other guilds up to speed by now, except for this one, obviously, which is, well, I guess it is up to speed, technically. But we're going to go through the rest of the way with this. So what's happened with this character is he is maxed out on the sword weapon skill. Which means I have all the abilities. And actually, we're not going to get a really good glimpse of it right now with Drock following us, which I do recommend for this bit. He's real help here. Because a lot of the abilities you get from leveling up your weapon skill become a really big help, not only in 1v1 fights, but in group fights as well. The main thing that you're going to find useful, or at least that I find useful, is the ability to charge your attacks. And once you have a high enough skill, you can charge your attacks and combo up to 4 in a row, like that. As long as you're doing straightforward attacks. If you're doing, like, strafe attacks, you only ever get up to 3. But the reason that the charge attacks work so well when you charge the odd-numbered attack and just do a normal regular speed attack for the even-numbered ones is because a lot of enemies who block, especially lizard men, the block can be defeated with the charge attack and knocks it aside. And as long as you time your combo well, I didn't do it that well there, you get a quick follow-up attack. It's a light attack, but remember that successive attacks do more damage. So by charging the odd-numbered ones, you get more damage out of the even-numbered ones. Not a hard trick to pull off, and it works generally pretty well. But if fighting groups of enemies, all of whom like to block, the strafe attacks have a bit more of a sweep to them, so those tend to work out better. Let's give it a shot here. See, old Drock here is just taking care of business, so I'm not really able to show it off. He won't be following us for long, though, so fret not. But he is a big help against these things, because these things really kind of suck. They love to hide behind their stupid shells, and can generally come out of their shells to hit you faster than you can hit them. And their block happens way sooner than you actually see their head retreat into the shell. So these guys are probably one of the more annoying enemies to fight in this game in melee. Because magic bullet really don't give a shit where the head is. Now, I did catch up the Warrior of the Order as well, using Staff as my melee weapon. And I gotta say, never tried to complete the game with staves before. They are the worst weapon ever invented in a video game combat. Because, my god, they do not have the reach you think they should. I don't know if they're just buggy hitboxes. I've been tempted to try and see if there's a way to, like, using debug modes, enable, like, a hitbox, like, visible hitbox thing, to really try and compare the hitboxes between that and, like, swords. So I swear swords have more range than staves do. And axes pretty much share the same animation as swords, so I don't think they'll be any different. But staves are horrific. I can't stand them. And staves being the only weapon you can ever use a shield with means there's a lot of enemies in this game that you cannot block. Thanks to that. So very stupid. Interesting. I appear to have already grabbed this. So in here, I should have considered that, is the other half of, I believe, the Soul Drinker two-handed sword. Is that the one I'm using? Yeah, it is. Okay. So it's the other half of this sword. We found the first half in a different place. I've already forgotten where. And you find the other half there. You can basically get that at any point in the game. So I had done it prior to even entering the volcano. But as you can see, like, even though melee damage is pretty good once you're at this point, it does not outpace the DPS you're capable of with magic bullets. And you must be in harm's reach at all times. I guess the only reason this could be better is in tight clusters of enemies. You can take them out a lot quicker, but it also means you have to risk taking hits. But yeah, if you're gonna go melee, there's really no better weapon than swords. You can get away with axes, and if you want to use melee weapons other than shitty staves, as your... if you've joined either of the monastery guilds, then I suggest axes, because swords, as I believe I previously discussed, you can only get up to level 7.
That didn't do it. I'm gonna start again.
Damn it. There's an extra button by accident.
It worked.
Swords you can only get up to level 7, because the only one who will teach you past that is Fincher, the Don's lieutenant. And he will not teach it to you if you are not a Donsman. But axes can be learned up to level 10 from any of the ogre teachers, of which I believe there are only 2. We got us an ass beast here. These guys also kind of suck. They're very fast. I believe don't give a shit if you're blocking without a shield. So it can really ruin your day. Oh, one thing I did want to address, I don't think I have them on this character, but off-screen I did acquire 2 of the runes that you can find out in the wild. The telekinesis rune, which is hidden in a little alcove guarded by some gnomes over here on the west coast. And I also found the speed rune, which is you kind of have to levitate to near this tower, one of the vassal towers overlooking the city. So that's where those are if you don't feel like purchasing them. And if you did try to... I didn't really discuss it, but if you did try to proceed further up the mountain, Drock would not follow you anymore. And it's not really important, because that's not the path of the lizard men that we're pursuing right now.
What are you doing here? Weren't you going to enter the volcano with the Inquisitor? Have you found anything there?
I'm following a troop of Saurians.
Down towards the Hunter's Hut. If you hurry, you can still catch them. Take care of yourself.
So he doesn't have much to say. He did ask us to speak with him, like I said, before entering the mountain, but he has nothing to say before you enter the mountain. And in fact, he only has something to say after we proceeded a little bit further, found another one of those lore columns, and then the quest will update. The quest will actually finish, this quest that we have here. And you can come back to him after that to tell him about what you found. But if you wait until after you finish the volcano entirely, that option disappears and you miss out on a little bit of XP. So it is a bit annoying. I am going to show some of the different dialogues you get as a Donsman when dealing with Chapter 2. Because obviously you're working for a different character in that step of the game. So, you know how the dialogues with Inquisitor and Don Esteban all played out. They're a little bit different when we're batting for the other team.
I found the 4 crystal discs the Inquisitor wants.
You have done well. The Inquisitor is a man of words and trickery. You have proven yourself loyal to the people. From this day on, you can call yourself a fighter. A man amongst my men. Wear our armor with pride.
If I'm to serve, I'll need better armor. I need armor fit for a fighter.
Take this. But remember, old fighters get old not because they're good at war, but because they know when to choose peace.
Thank you. I will remember that.
Make sure you do. I need live soldiers, not dead heroes.
What happens next?
Go to the Inquisitor and inform him of my terms. If he wants these discs, I want Harbor Town. If he really wants to help our people, and he isn't just interested in power, then he should agree to this.
Harbor Town will soon be yours again.
Be careful. Mendoza cannot be trusted. Remember, he has betrayed his own people in the past, left them to die. Here, take the disc. Don't let it out of your sight.
The Don has all of the discs you seek.
And what does he want in return for them?
Don Esteban wants to negotiate new terms.
We stand on the brink of human catastrophe, and he wants gold. My low estimation of the man was right.
Not just gold. He demands the withdrawal of all warriors of the Order from Harbor Town.
The Don can have his town. He can have it once we have opened the gate, you and I. Once we have discovered the mysteries of what lie beyond it, then he can have his town. Now bring me those discs, and let us make an end of this.
But anyway, we've got lizard men to chase. Now, this part is a little bit tricky if you want to try and keep everybody alive, because the lizard men we're following are basically squatting at the hunter's hut right now, and we'll kill them very quickly because, well, we don't really have a ranged option here. Now, if you have the magic bullet, it's very easy to deal with this, because you can just kind of hit them from afar. We can pull them, but my shots don't do enough damage to do it, you know, make a meaningful difference from this distance. So we'll try and get them over here. So there's the technique I mentioned. You can bat their sword aside with a heavy blow and hit them with a quick follow-up. The trouble is, if you want to try and pull them like that, I think there's like 3 of them that are too close to the hut. They will spawn in when the hunters spawn in. So it makes them hard to deal with. And the only one that's really vulnerable is Rufo, the wolf, unfortunately. And it is very hard to keep him alive without being able to kill these enemies from afar. Dealt with. Now, as soon as you pick up this map, Drock leaves. So we're gonna leave it be for now. We'll pick it up once we're finished with the rest of these, because it's gonna be tough. Let's see if we can get a little bit lucky and get the lizards to spawn in before the hunters do. I don't think we will. I did manage previously as the mage to pull all but one of them before the hunters spawned in. I think I have 2 here, so that's good. So this should be the same, which means we might be able to keep everybody alive without too much fuss.
Catch them.
Now, I don't want to get too close, because if you get close enough, everybody will spawn in over there. Nicely done.
Keep the fight going.
Excellent work, Druxon. He does hit like a beast. Alright, so now we gotta get in there quick. In fact, whoosh. No, leave Wolf alone. For some reason, Jasmine doesn't participate at all. Whoops, sorry, buddy.
I've seen these lizard men before. Where did they come from?
You'll have to be alert. There'll be more of them.
So, there are more of them?
I think so.
That's not the
Then I'm going
subtitles.
to have to be ready. I don't want to turn from hunter to prey.
Indeed. Rufo. Good boy. So yeah, Rufo basically dies in one hit, which is why it's very hard to keep him alive. I'm glad I managed to do it. Anyway, once we loot this feller, that's it. That's all we came here for.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes. Now I have to go into the volcano.
Be careful. There are many Saurians there. Bad humans, too.
Don't worry. Those humans are on my side.
Fight well, my friend.
You too. Win back your honor.
My honor is met. Now go alone. Finish what started long ago.
I shall. I feel like there's meant to be a little bit of foreshadowing where he refers to the Inquisition as bad humans. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, we basically got to get back to the volcano.
I can't cast without mana.
Well, dang. Let's have a sip. And then whoosh. We gotta go back the way we came. I mean, I guess you could save a little bit of time. Warp back to the monastery. And run the way we came in. Well, it's all the same to me. So we'll see you back on the inside. It appears I've left a lizardman. I left a bunch. As you can see, one of the biggest issues in Melee is that enemies in this game really don't have any kind of ranking, so like they won't alternate attacks. If they feel like attacking at the same time, you will get hit by both. Inputs generally feel a little bit janky. I mentioned it many times before, but the enhanced edition that they patched in a few years ago, it improved, quote-unquote, the input delay for the parry. It made it a little bit longer, so it's easier to pull off. But by a little bit, I mean it made it unreasonably long, like several seconds long. To the point that if you just hold your block for like 2 seconds or so and release it, it will suddenly morph into a parry every time. And that's does more harm than good. So that's why I don't use it, but parrying without it does become really annoying, because, man, it is like single-digit milliseconds that you have to press that button. Anyway. We back.
Have you found a way to open the drawbridge? We must get inside.
I haven't found the way to open it, but I found a map of all the caves.
Let me see it. Look, here. The drawbridge can only be opened from the inside. There is no direct access, but this map shows their defenses are weak, at one point in the wall. We could breach it. Here, take your map. Come with me.
I'm a-coming. And they somehow managed to get this passage completely open. I always wondered how they hid this, but it turns out there's just a bunch of rubble in front of it until you get the map, and then suddenly the rubble disappears. Old Ethan.
We should stay here.
Yes, yes. We can hear more lizards behind the wall there, but we don't seem too concerned with them.
Moving.
We will keep moving at my
Come
pace.
with me.
Oh, another feller.
They must be
Bonked.
Here it is. We have to get through this wall. It is the weakest point in the fortress.
Getting through it still isn't going to be easy.
Ethan is the man for this job. Go to him. Tell him to breach the wall here. Once Ethan has breached the wall, we can penetrate these defenses.
And penetrate them good. Well, here's what we're dealing with. Again, very stylized maps that can be hard to interpret at a glance. Until you've actually become a little bit more familiar with the level. But we don't really need it. It's actually pretty straightforward once you get in there. Hey, you. This ain't the time to read.
You must go to the Inquisitor.
Yes, sir.
Take your pickaxe with you.
What needs doing?
We have to make a breach. We can break down the wall into the crypt. Hurry up, the Inquisitor is waiting for you.
I'm on my way.
Then be on your way. Can I pick your pocket? Damn. Let's read this.
I am Ursagor, the Damned. This is the fortress which was built according to my command. Yet now it has become my tomb. Thus will I rest with the Titan until the end of all things. Ursagor is buried somewhere in this temple.
Well. Isn't that a grave insult? Buried behind those you subjugated. Karmic justice, indeed.
Ethan is tunneling through that wall.
Good. It is in our favor that the defenders of this fortress must have dwindled in numbers. We can breach their defenses almost unopposed.
Well, they did oppose us, but they dead now.
What do we need to do now?
Come with me. I'll show you.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, this part here is a little bit confusing, because Mendoza seems like we're on a mission here, but... He's not really here to do anything. It's just...
Let's try this door.
Do you want me to break it down?
I found this statuette. I suspect it will help us open the door. Place it on the altar, and get ready.
I don't really get why he needs to lead us to this part, and why it couldn't have just been open. But... that's how they decided to script this whole sequence. And we got Brawn Talks. Boy, I hate Brawn Talks. Now, you see what I complained about previously, is that they can parry you with their dang faces. Holy smokes. And everybody else gets a piece. Hang on. I should be dead by now. I left this uneasy. Yeah. Just so there's no accusations. I did play this on easy while I was catching up the Warrior of the Order because I could not stand using staves. I could not stand fighting with staves when enemies could kill me in 2 hits. That was sheer misery. It's not as bad with swords because they actually hit damn things. But staves do not.
I have been waiting for you.
He's been waiting for them. Let's try and funnel them to the wall a bit. Now, one of the ways you can semi-sort of cheese the combat, it's not too reliable, is... whatever enemies you're not facing are less consistently able to, like, block and dodge you.
This island will be free of you.
So, if you focus on enemies that, you know, don't block or dodge as readily. But there aren't many occasions where you're fighting unlike enemies in a group. Well?
They're not making this easy, are they?
Nothing you really want in life is easy.
There is more information to be had here. Before we advance, we must learn as much as possible.
And by that he means read this random column that he seemed to know was here.
I am Ursagor, Lord over the Titans. This is my power and my station. My servants shall take by... No, that's my... Or it... Damn, the final sentences are illegible. This isn't taking me anywhere.
Have you read everything?
There were parts I couldn't decipher.
Then we must plug those gaps with intuition. Let us take the knowledge we have and enter the crypt. Come. We must go to Ethan and use the breach to enter the fortress.
And none of the information we learned here really seemed that valuable, to be perfectly honest. But it was enough to finish the quest that Eldrick gave us. And to truly finish it, we need to go back and speak to him now. Which means, yes, the last of the information was inaccessible until we went to see... It went in his direction and came back. Now that we have that information, we need to go see him again. If we want that extra last bit of XP. Which, frankly, I don't. But I will. Wrong spot. Look at the lovely little god rays they had between this random cluster of trees. This is truly a magical place. We did find an amulet down there. I didn't think to look at it. 'Twas one we've had before and don't care about.
The Saurians have a fortress inside the volcano.
A big gate. A fortress. We need to find what is being protected, not what is doing the protecting. Have you searched this fortress?
Not all of it.
Then return. There must be something inside it.
Well, why don't you lend a hand? Yeah, it's a very not a clean ending quest. Confusing why it even exists at all, and why we get that extra XP for coming back to him now. Kinda really wish it didn't work out that way. So I didn't have to run back here for another 150 XP that barely even matters in the long run. But completionists would have a fit. Whatever, let's get back there.
How are you doing? Have you managed to make a breach?
Hopeless. I haven't managed more than this little hole. The wall is just too big.
That's quitting talk.
Well, there is a hole in the wall, but no one's gonna fit through there.
There is only space for someone who has the Nautilus spell. You must go through and open the drawbridge. Let us defeat the defenses and uncover the secrets that lie inside. I will gather our people outside the gate.
You do that. You know, Ethan, you probably would have made more progress if you were actually chipping away at the wall in question and not at the floor 10 feet away from it. But I'm sure the Inquisitor trusts you for a reason. And you're already taking a break. Alright, so we gotta nautili ourselves. And slip on through. Once we're in, you have a choice here. You can do exactly what you're supposed to do and go run and try and find the mechanism to open the gate. The mechanism is not down here, although the gate is that way. Behold. But if you manage to open it, all the Inquisitor's men will rush inside and mop up everything they encounter on the way in that direction. They don't go upstairs and they don't necessarily clear out all the side rooms. But, obviously, they'll steal all your XP in the process. And also, if you want to sneak up there, well, stupid little Crabbo idiot can't make it up the stairs. But we are going to take everything out ourselves for the sake of the XP, so let's get started on the ground floor. And I'm going to summon my best bud, Fred. Because if you're going to do melee in this game, I really suggest you keep Skeleman on hand. Because he really does make a huge difference. He's a little more durable than you'd expect. And, like I said... well, I don't know what I said. I'm getting ahead of myself. He's more durable than you expect. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but he can hold up for a fair bit. And the way AI aggro's in this game, it's mostly driven towards whatever enemy is closest to them. So, since he's constantly getting up into enemies' faces, he's usually pulling most of the aggro. So that's very handy. And for some reason, he breathes. Because they have skeletons rigged on standard NPC animations. And with that comes the bizarre qualities of them having breath and even grunt sound effects if you hit them from behind. Now, this fight's gonna be fun. I'm going to pop a little bit of this for some extra damage, because this is gonna be tough. You're gonna want to be careful that fireballer don't hit you, so his fireballs hurt. Well, buddy. Take that.
I'll have to pick this, or find the key.
We need a key. Picking is not an option. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you cannot pick that luck. Another issue that I had with the staves, way more than with axes and swords, is that for some reason they really struggle to keep your target focused. I was constantly like breaking lock on and like getting behind them by accident, just because the mobility and the lock on works horrendously with that weapon. So basically I cannot suggest you use staves under any circumstances. They have no qualities over the other weapons and everything worse. Owie! Well, buddy. Just for your information, in case you're concerned that we're breaking continuity here by switching guilds halfway through this dungeon, the rest of this does not play out any differently depending on which of the three factions you chose. We got an undead warrior here. Not sure why there's inexplicably one zombie lizard down here. But it is a crypt after all, so I guess there's bound to be one of them. Although he's not actually the only one, as we'll soon find. I also don't know why there's ghouls down here, including one in here. Now, ghouls are the motherfuckers of all time, because... Can you move, Fred, please? They always hit faster than you. You cannot land a string of combos against them if they decide to attack at any point, because they will always hit faster. Luckily, they are generally a blockable enemy. But... And you saw how that weird slow-mo effect on my weapon there? That's because the Brontux, their parry animation causes some really weird animation jank sometimes. And if their parry face doesn't quite collide with your weapon will just slow to a crawl and kind of coast through them instead. But they parry pretty much constantly, so it's really obnoxious. I bonked. I'm continuing to bonk because of input buffering, thank you. Uh-oh. They broke my boner.
No mana.
Shit. Quick sip. Nope. Hiya. It was a bit earlier where I mentioned how when we were trying to find the two mechanisms for the initial gate. Do you mind, sir? The worst thing about lizards is for some reason they love to spam the parry attack. That hits faster than anything and doesn't do much damage, but they'll just do it repeatedly and beat the shit out of you with it. But yeah, when we were trying to find the initial 2 mechanisms to open the first gate, and there was a bit where you had to levitate across a gap into a room full of enemies. If you are careful with it, you can get the skeleton over there, and he'll pull aggro to start with. But if you don't put him in just the right place, the enemies will start hitting him so quickly that he doesn't even have time to spawn his weapon. Which means he's a lot less useful. I would like to question the significant amount of human bones in this lizard man crypt. What's that about? I guess they were in very open society back then. What is happening? Okay, well, I am a bit buggered. Bam. As long as you have enough damage, you get through these fights without too much difficulty. But at this point, I'm struggling to deal with an enemy in a full combo. What with the, the whole blocking situation. Amulet of the Sorcerer. Well, I don't think I actually found that in my mage playthrough, so I will have to double back for it. Alright, buddies. Y'all can mop up what's left, which is nothing. Oh Lord, they coming.
The next gate. There must be a way in.
There's always
Find
another
the
gate.
tomb of this Ursagor. Perhaps you will find a key there.
I suppose we'll find out. And I believe the key that one of the enemies upstairs dropped is this key here, which opens it. I think you can get in here before you even open the gate, for what it's worth. Doesn't really make a difference. Well. That certainly looks like a man who is somewhere between alive and dead. And I've always been curious about this emblem behind him, which for some reason is just an enormous version of the monocle that the Inquisitor wears.
A human, at last, living flesh. After all these years.
Yours.
You're a spirit.
I am Ursagor, the Titan Lord.
How did you get here?
That is a very long story, which is not over yet. But now is not the time to dwell on the past.
We must look to a bright new future.
The Titans have been released. I'm looking for a way to fight them.
As I did. I had that fire in me too. And I beat them. But the seals we used to imprison the Titans are broken. A wave of magic tore them apart. Now, humanity stands on a cliff, staring at destruction. Now you come here. What do you seek, human?
I need a weapon.
The best weapon against a Titan is a Titan. And perhaps I have one. A fire Titan trapped here within this volcano. You must find a way to use it.
Where is this fire Titan?
Held in a trap behind the Golden Gate. Their prisons were supposed to hold them for all eternity.
How can this trap hold a Titan?
The secret is in the crystals. They are thaumaturgic crystals. They drain magic, weakening the Titan. so it cannot use its power.
How can I free the Titan?
So, you are thinking of using it as a weapon? I can tell you how to free it, but to get the answer you want, you must do something for me.
You really think this is the time for trading?
Time is all I have. My spirit is immortal, and I am bound to this place. Release me from my curse, and I will help you open the gate which leads to the Fire Titan.
How can I free you from your curse?
The gods commanded me. I was to imprison the Titans for them. In return, they would let me outlive time itself. I accepted their offer, hunted and captured the Titans. The last of them I imprisoned here. But hardly had I closed the gate when the temple sank into the depths, making me prisoner in my own dungeon. I am a prisoner still.
The gods tricked you.
That no longer matters. My body decayed, but my spirit is still bound here, trapped forever with one of those I imprisoned.
How is your spirit bound to this place?
The gods tied it to this place somehow. I cannot move far from my physical remains.
So there is no way the curse can be broken? That you can leave here?
There is a chance. I am bound to a body, but my body is not bound here.
You're looking for a new body?
I sense your fear, human. But no, that is not what I seek. There is a spell which may be able to separate the bond between my spirit and body. It is a magic of the most powerful kind.
The way he said his body is bound, or he's bound to his body, but his body's not bound here, made me think he was just, initially think he was just suggesting, why don't you just pick up my bones and carry them out of here, and I'll just walk with you. Because if you're bound to your body, but your body can, be moved around, it kind of seems like a solution that takes care of itself, although maybe your spirit just incapable of lifting your own bones. So you'd kind of be stuck wherever somebody left you.
Do you need something to cast this spell?
The gods provided 3 servants to assist me. Zul-Utur, the priest, Zelzerat, the animal, and Zal-Zaran, the guardian. Each of them carried a soul splinter, which supplied them with power. This power may be sufficient to free my spirit for good.
Those are some interesting names.
And now you want me to find these splinters?
You must find them. Then you can cast the spell. Release me and learn the secrets you seek.
If this is really ancient magic, wouldn't I need something else to cast the spell?
The soul splinters. And the voice of another, anyone but me, is all the spell takes. I think the gods intended that as their final insult. Trapped alone, needing only the word of another to set me free.
Oh, the fickle gods always leaving you with like a very convenient way out.
Where can I find your 3 servants?
They are here, in the chambers of the crypt, but the chambers are barred. You will need the key.
Where can I find the key?
I will give it to you. Once you get inside the chambers, Take the skulls of my servants. You will need them to open the gate.
And once I have freed you, you will aid me in the battle against the Titans.
I will give you what you need to open the Golden Gate after you have done what I ask.
You didn't exactly agree to do what I said. Also, he says he'll give you the key, but the key is actually this bust right behind you. But yes, if you haven't caught on, but notice his voice is awful familiar, there's also John Rhys-Davies who voiced Don Esteban. He's given 2 roles in this game. So I guess he was very enthusiastic about the project. But Andy Serkis, well, now you understand why may have had a bit of a one-sided feud between them. They both voiced very important characters, but John Rhys-Davies voiced 2 important characters.
I found Ursagor.
Did you find the key?
No, I found Ursagor. His body is long
I love
dead,
the way he says
but his
that.
spirit remains.
And what did this Ursagor say?
There is a fire titan imprisoned behind the Golden Gate.
An imprisoned titan. That explains why the other titans don't come here. Its presence must be keeping them away.
But why has this titan remained trapped, while the others have escaped?
Nobody seems to want to answer that question.
Ursagor wants to be freed. If we free him, he will show us a way to open the Golden Gate.
Then free him. Free him. We must know what has kept this titan here. The more knowledge we have of this titan, the more chance we have of stopping the others. And let us see if this Ursagor will speak to me.
Let us see indeed. Now, I'm going to spoil things. They don't really answer that question of why this one remained trapped while others managed to escape. You just take it as a given that the others managed to escape. Whereas this one didn't. Oh, I hear the Beastie Boy. Let's get Fredward out. Zelzaret, which is not what Ursagor said your name was. When it comes to these guys, I recommend just kind of like spamming light attacks. That seems to be the best way out. You'll notice each of them not only drops the soul splinter, which for some reason has... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, that didn't seem right. They not only drop their soul splinter, but they drop their skulls as well, which is curious. But it turns out we will need those, so make sure you grab it. Also, make sure you grab the bust on the way out, because you only have the one, and you need it for all 3 doors. I think I missed one. I somehow walked past one. What a dummy. Zalzaran. And this guy. The only lizard man who doesn't seem to use an obsidian standard lizard sword. Instead, he wields the Titan sword, a bastard sword, which, even though it's lower than the one we're using, is actually a better weapon. I think the way the weapons are organized here is that the one-handed weapons will always be first, then the bastard swords, then the two-handed swords. So they never intermingle, which is why this one looks like it's less valuable. But, yeah. I also find it funny that you can loot raw meat off of this fellow. That is some dry-aged meat if I've ever seen it. And the last. Zul Utur. Whose name sounds more like the leader, the chieftain of an Ashlander camp from Morrowind or something. And he also had a bunch of scrolls on him, which I didn't really get a look at, but I'm sure we'll make use of them. Alright, nice and easy. You can take the bus back if you want, but counts as a quest item, you'll never be able to sell it. It's got collector's value only.
While you were exploring, I spoke with Ursagor.
Have you learned anything?
I know how we can break the seal. But he also told me how I can control the Titan, free Ursagor's spirit, so we may open the gate.
I have found what you asked me for. I have found the soul splinters.
Good. Now is the time. Set me free.
How? What do I do?
Say it. Speak the word. Say that I am free.
You are free. Be free.
Apparently I had to make a gesture, too.
A gun. I can feel it. I can feel. I am free.
You are free. But what of our agreement? Will you fulfill your part of our bargain?
I will. Take my skull and place it with the others on the altars before the gate.
Which skull goes on which altar?
When I imprisoned the Titan, Zal-Zaran was my personal guard, equal of Zul Utur, the priest who conjured up Zel-Zarat. I have fulfilled my part of our bargain. Now, I am free. Free. A word that meant nothing to me for all these years.
You have freed Ursagor. That is excellent work. Now our path is clear.
Indeed, although I'm starting to have my doubts. Oh well. Let's snatch the man's skull and think about the consequences later.
You're still here.
I am.
I thought you were free.
I am. But I do not have to leave. It is enough to know that I can go wherever and whenever I wish. For now, I wish to see what you will do.
So will you remain in the world?
That is what was granted to me for eternity. Now I can claim what the gods promised me. Now I have the freedom I wanted. Now I choose my own destiny.
If you're staying, will you help me?
Perhaps. It remains to be seen.
Well, that sounds all well and good, but why do I feel like there is an evil undertone to all that?
Why are you bothering me?
And yes, of course, his default dismissive dialogue is just recycled from the Dawn.
We follow the Inquisitor.
I'm sure you do. Alright, so he gave us a bit of a riddle to finish this off. We have to figure out which skull goes on which altar. And it's curious that the skulls are the keys to this whole gate here. Because I imagine it would have been hard to use them before I ripped them out of all y'all heads. But I guess you didn't need the keys to lock the gate. Just need them to unlock it. Anyway, what he said is that the warrior was his personal guard, equal to the priest who summoned the beast. The way you interpret that is whoever's closest to the altar that's closest must be Ursagor himself. And I gotta ask, what the hell kind of shaped-ass skull did he have? I don't understand what I'm looking at with this icon here. It looks like no part of a human skull that I've ever seen. Well, of course, when you put it down, it looks fairly normal. I mean, the head of the undead guardian. Equal to that of the undead priest. Which is exactly the same. And the beast.
Finally, at long last, we will see the truth. At last, we can find a way to strike back.
Ursagor told you something. What did he say?
I know. The spell which is needed to break the final seal. This ocular I wear will make the seal visible. After that, it is a matter of will.
What else did he say?
It is Ursagor's curse that has tied the Titan here. The gods sealed it here as a reminder of his fate.
Will freeing him free the Titan then?
No. I don't believe they are linked in that way. But freeing the Titan will give us a weapon. Titans are destroying the mainland. This Titan can stop them. It might sacrifice this island. But think of the thousands we will save.
You're willing to sacrifice the island?
Humanity is dying. Forget the few people that huddle on this island. All of humanity will be dead if we do not act soon.
What if the Titan won't fight for us?
You said it was once a servant of the gods. It was a servant once. It can be again.
That was 1,000 years ago. And to a god.
Now the gods have died. Man will take their place. Man will be his own god. This Titan will recognize me as its master. I will destroy the other Titans and save the world for humanity.
There must be another way.
You're still in doubt. You were never prepared for great deeds. Now that it is time to make a courageous decision, you tuck your tail and run.
Then I'll have to stop you.
You are a fool.
You are deluded.
You cannot touch me. Men, kill him!
Nobody said nothing about tucking tail and running. I'm just trying to make a calm, calculated decision here. And apparently I'm just gonna let you do all that. Not even lift a finger to stop you, despite that taking you all damn day.
I'll help you.
Ooh! Old commandant there. Do not underestimate him. He may have the basic bitch stick, but he knows how to use it, I assure you. And he loves to come in with the Omega Bonk. Probably one of the worst animated cutscenes ever. Wow! Alright. He followed his orders. Alas, poor Ethan. So yes, it seems Inquisitor... Well, he's not really willing to listen to reason here. There's a lot of debate over whether or not he has the right idea here. I've had this argument with people before, and the crux of the argument is just assuming that the Inquisitor's plan is going to work here. That he will be able to control the Titan, and yeah, a few dozen people on this island will die. That's the price to save the rest of the world. But again, worst case scenario, we're adding another Titan to the mix and annihilating the only island that has managed to hold up against the wrath of the Titans for quite a hubristic, foolhardy plan here. And there's a lot to kind of unpack with what they argue with here, but let's talk to Ursagor first, who kind of just seemed to watch all that play out with amusement.
What has come to pass? Have you found what you were seeking?
The Inquisitor is focused on the Titan. He wants to free it.
The Inquisitor is the bearer of the Eye. What is he planning to do?
The Inquisitor is seeking to control the Titan.
Given the choice of such power, there are few who could resist the temptation.
Then we can only hope he succeeds. That he can control the Titan and use it to fight the others.
He will fail. No one is capable of controlling a Titan without the help of the gods.
Then the island will be destroyed.
Not if you stop this man. The Titan, too, can be stopped. After all, this is its prison.
You controlled the Titan. Can't it be controlled again?
The influence of the gods was strong then. Now the gods have left this world. No one can command a Titan.
How do I stop the Inquisitor?
The Inquisitor is irrelevant. You must stop the Titan.
How? How can that be done?
Only a Titan Lord can force the Titan back into its prison.
Then only you can stop it.
I am dead. You must take on this role. You must become a Titan Lord.
How do I become a Titan Lord?
You must find my armor.
But you're
still
wearing it.
exists.
Yes, it will protect you from the Titan's fire.
I'll need a weapon. Armor alone won't be enough.
Of course, weapon and armor.
Where do I get the armor?
Only iron, forged by Titans, can protect you. I possessed such armor. You must find it.
Where do I get a weapon?
The gods gave me a war hammer for the task, forged to withstand the power of the Titans.
Thanks for the history, but where can I find them?
My possessions were given to the Saurian high priests. I have not seen them since.
So our only hope has been missing for how many 100 years?
The priests would have been buried with their most precious possessions. You must discover the tombs of the Saurian high priests. Once you break the seals, there is a chance that what you seek will be there.
Where do I find the tombs?
They will be within the Saurian temples. There were 5 high priests. Find these 5 tombs.
What are the seals you mentioned?
The entrances will be protected by powerful magical fields. Only the most ancient magic can break them. I have created a rune. With it, you can destroy any barrier the Saurians might have created.
A rune? I'm not a mage.
You are not. But I expect mages still exist.
Yes, there are mages.
Then find one who can help you.
Find a mage who will help. Right.
You will find the rune in the sarcophagus where my skull lay.
I would have seen that.
There is a secret compartment. Push the lid to the side, then the compartment will open. The rune will be inside. There is no more I can tell you. Return here when you feel you are ready, but remember, time is not on your side.
Bong. Chapter 4, The Titan. And believe it or not, this is the final chapter. There may be a final, like another chapter card after that.
Don't you have anything to do?
I do indeed. But this is pretty much the last chapter, and once we're done with chapter 4, it's on to the final boss. Yeah, the whole argument here is basically that Inquisitor Mendoza thinks he can command the Titan, and if he doesn't, all he's done is help it break loose. And we're adding one more Titan to the world, which we certainly do not need right now. And the issue with that is what Ursagor is saying, is that without the influence of the gods, and just bear in mind, every Inquisitor down here is hostile now, so we'll have to fight our way out. Or you could just use teleport stones,
For the Inquisition!
We need the XP.
I'll help you!
Yeah, so basically, what Ursagor is saying is that, oh no. Nobody can command a Titan without the influence of the gods. And with the benefit of hindsight, we know that's not explicitly true. It's hard to say for sure, but in Risen 2 and 3, there's a scene in each game where a human manages to at least summon a Titan. There's the Earth Titan summoned by Crow in Risen 2, and the Ore Titan summoned by, I forget his name, in Risen 3. Horus or something? And they aren't explicitly controlled by the guy who summoned them, but they definitely had the power to summon them. And the Titan at least seemed to be on their side for the duration of the boss fight, so... what am I doing here? So it's enough to make me question the argument that a human is unable to command a Titan, or even that a Titan Lord is unable to do it, because it is the influence of Titans that gave those humans the power to summon said enemies. So, I find it all a bit questionable. Oh, here's a feller.
For the Inquisition!
And yeah, every single one of them is going to be hostile, even the ones we were friends with. I can't reach him! Oh my god, stairs. And the other issue I have with this plan is basically if the Inquisitor was a little less impulsive, I feel like we could have come up with a plan to evacuate the island. And it's a bit more of a shaky argument for not rushing into his plan. Because as we know, an evacuation order like that is a bit of a tall order to try and organize in a short amount of time and get everyone on board with it. But it's kind of one of those arguments where you just say, hey, this is what's going to happen. We warned you. Get off we're going to organize an evacuation of the island, and if you're not part of it, well, it's on you what happens next, because we got a world to save. But, yeah, I mean, that's a lot to try and get done in a short amount of time when we feel like time's on the line. But, I don't know. Honestly, the part that annoys me the most is just how we stood there and watched the Inquisitor back off slowly, telekinesis the skull in order to lock the gate, and did absolutely nothing to stop him. But it is what it is. So that's going to be it for now, and the final chapter, honestly, probably going to take a grand... Otis, please. Probably going to take a grand total of like 3 episodes, because we have a bit to mop up between the monastery and the city, and there's like 1 extra quest for each faction to deal with, which can all probably be done in an episode. And then we have to go out and find all of the armor pieces and the warhammer that Ursagor mentioned in order to acquire the power, I guess, that we need to reseal the Fire Titan after Mendoza unleashes it. But yeah, probably not going to take more than 3 episodes, maybe 3 extra long episodes, but the dungeons we have to deal with are not long enough for an episode apiece, nor is the final confrontation, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how I break it out so that each episode is a reasonable length. But we'll figure that out in the weeks to come. And until next time, hope you all stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, there are live streams every weekend if you like to watch. Moving to a new time at 2 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern Daylight Time. So you can watch that either here on YouTube or over on twitch.tv/Morganon. And if you're interested in anything else, well, there's a Discord link below in the description as well, in case you feel like some idle shenanigans over there. But otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you next time.